Hey folks. So, yep, today working on getting some of these different components working locally. So again, like last time, no idea if anyone actually wants to see this, but it would be kind of neat to get live feedback, and if you all have suggestions on how we should structure this stuff, that would be awesome. That would be really cool. Um, both in terms of like my development workflow and just generally like the project, like what we're putting together here. So you can go to the YouTube and check there's a video there on like the mission and vision and stuff like that. But yeah, for anyone who's new to this, basically the Chewy Stack, we're trying to build this system where you've got a few different services out of the box, like authentication and an API generator and some stuff to like build a front end and to build some additional sort of back end stuff. And ideally, it all just gets nicely packaged together so you can run all of these services on your local machine, and well, not your local machine, in a dev environment in the cloud. Um, but that makes it very nice and easy to get up and running, and also makes it nice and easy to create new environments, staging, production, all of that stuff, and get all of the different services connected together and just running without you having to do any sort of fiddling with Kubernetes configurations, or I don't know, even just like managing virtual machines or any of that stuff. So should be easy to deploy and manage all of these things, at least for smaller projects. Um, or medium projects. So today, yeah, I was trying to figure out how to organize all this stuff, and essentially everything runs on Docker. Um, and I had a buddy suggest that we should kind of treat development just like any other sort of deployment target. And so yeah, we've set up this infrastructure component called the Docker development host. And so we'll treat that like any other infrastructure component in the stack. And so deploying, when you're running when you do like a Chewy dev start or something like that, I think that's the command I started building, Chewy dev start. It will just run all of those components locally on using Docker. So yeah, here I am trying to figure this out. So what I'm doing now is I figure all of these things should have, all of the components should have the, oh, why am I calling it dev host name? Just Docker dev host is the name. So that will be, so we're linking, so essentially that we've got this link components function that essentially creates a sort of dependency style relationship between this component here and this component here, and specifies the role. So essentially after installing, we're in the install component. So once the component is essentially installed, then we create this dependency between the component and this Docker dev host. And that is so that when we build up our dependency graph, this should be the first thing to get installed, because it should be, everything should depend on it. Right now, all it does is provision a Docker network, but I could see that doing a little bit more stuff down the line. Like it might, maybe we set up like a web server or something, like a caddy or traffic or something like that, to do some routing. That would be, I could see that being practical in certain cases. Okay. So That's that. So that'll run, and okay, so we've got the Docker dev host. So as a component, Docker development host, we've got its commands. Initialize shouldn't really do anything. I don't think it needs anything. Dev, which is actually just an alias for deploy. Here's where things get more interesting, I guess. Actually, this should all just, I don't think I need to customize any of this. For reference, if anybody's watching and curious, we've got two. So in the Chewy subdirectory of any component, we've got a commands subdirectory and a deployment subdirectory. Each of those provide sort of common functions that every component needs to conform to and interface, basically. Yeah, those commands are initialize, dev, start and stop, deploy, and destroy. There's probably going to be others like set config, or like config set and config unset, I guess, to manage configuration. But yeah, for now, I don't think we need to do that. Okay, so for this one, deployment, so I had just shoved some stuff into Docker development host. I mean, technically we could, yeah, no, okay, yes. Docker development host will be, I mean, it's only development, so maybe I don't need to, oh, I'd already written this. That's neat. That's practical. I'd forgotten that. Okay. So, Yarn got this workflow where I don't know if anyone has suggestions where I have these scripts in the package.json that I use to switch from local, like the local Chewy lib to the production one coming from npm. So yarn lup local update or upgrade, which rebuilds the Chewy library and reinstalls it so we can test any changes. It's a little bit of a slow process, but I don't know. I haven't figured out anything better. So if we do that, this is going to take a little while, but I'm going to run Chewy cc rebuild CLI. I don't think I need to do this. Oh, actually, I kind of do. Well, not necessarily. So I've got this Chewy contributor CLI, which helps run certain common tasks. Okay, so I'll do like rebuilding the actual CLI. I could run it in dev mode, but Chewy init demo. This is gonna install some stuff, and then at the end we can, once it's done, and that's gonna take a few minutes. Well, a couple minutes, not a few. Yeah, it's gonna install everything, hopefully. And then we'll be able to see if this, if the Docker development host gets set up as like the first thing in the dependency graph. Okay, so to do that, let's see. We've got deploy. That should be in the CLI. Deploy index. There we go. Chewy project deploy. Okay, yeah, so when we run Chewy deploy, we default to the dev environment, and then we run deploy, which is here. Okay, so what happens when we do that? We build our dependency graph. I think I should call this build dependency graph. I guess it doesn't really matter. Overall order. So this is a function from the dependency graph library, which gives us the leaf dependencies. We get their IDs, get node data ID. Oh no, we get the full nodes themselves. So this is the configuration of each of these components, as well as their links and their ID in the graph. Okay, so from there, leaf nodes.map, and then we do, for each of those, we do deploy component, which then gets the component. We log that, explain what's going on, do all the dependents. Okay. We're not actually running what is the best way to do that? So if I want to run that deployment, run the command. There's this weird thing between like the CLI and like, because we've got these CLIs because they kind of make sense as like an interface for a developer to work with. But some things that kind of make sense is like almost everything needs to be like part of the library. Yeah. So like, I'm just thinking through with the CLI, we have commands where we can say like Chewy command Next.js start dev or dev start, I guess. How do we do that as it just runs it in the CLI though. I think the CLI makes sense. It does make sense as an interface. Shoot. Failed to yarn install cache folder. Yarn build. This is a problem I've been running into. Dugite script download git filled with rm sync temp file. I feel like this is been running into these issues where Yarn has these issues with concurrency. So if you try to run like multiple Yarn installs at the same time, things seem to be much more likely to fail. I have set up with like, because we've got multiple things being installed at once. And so we do this like cache folder to prevent conflicts. But it looks like it's not really working. Though that's the first time I've run into this problem today. I don't like that it's inconsistent though, and it always has to do with like installing node modules. Okay, anyway, back to this. Let the components install. That did take a lot longer than I was thinking though. Maybe I should just do them in order and turn off this like allow it to use the cache, but just run the install sequentially. Okay. So we want to run a command. I guess it kind of makes sense to have. Okay, so right now we've got this command CLI commands. I'm just gonna open this one up. It's like got a command called command inside the command. commands. It's yeah, a command called command that basically lets you run a command for a given component. But I'm realizing now that this should be in its own. The price is low. How do I? No, I don't want. Can I moderate? I don't want to. I don't want promotion. Sorry, I'm seeing a comment come through the chat, but yeah, that's spam. I don't want any promotion. I don't know how to use the tools. I'm new to streaming. I don't know how to get rid of that. Anyway, we'll leave the spam comment, I guess. Please stop spamming though. It's unpleasant. Okay. So where was I? Okay, so I need this to be part of the library. Okay. So the function, basically we need to know what component we're going to work with and what the command is we're going to run. And the parameters for that command, I guess. Okay, so in the library, I guess that should be under components. That makes sense. Components, run command, and components, fetch definition. Yeah, like run command makes sense. Run command and export default function. Okay. Let's just, might as well just kind of grab this stuff. Gives us what we need. Sweet. Okay, we can get rid of that. And get it directly. So here we're going to get the name. This will just run get component dir options. Interface run command options. Is that not something we've got access to? Get component dir options. And there's command is going to be a string array. Yep. Okay. Oops. I want dir ops. Oh yes, that is what we want. And just pass that correctly. Okay, so that'll give us the directory where we're going to run the commands. And yeah, I guess just the full command is the name of the command. Yep, I think that works. So commands command. Yep. Command? Isn't that what was in there? Oh no, yeah, I see. Okay, I think this makes sense. Running full. Oh, we're not gonna do console log. We're gonna do log from our stuff. Why? Add missing function. No, I don't want to. Yeah. Can you guess where the hey? Weirdly practical thing that I find Copilot can do is just guess those imports. But I wish you could just. Wish there's a shortcut I could just. Man, that's annoying. See, it always something to do with the cache with yarn. It's frustrating. I am going to. I think it is because we're doing too much stuff at the same time. RF demo. Right. Let's see. Oh, also that I think needs do log info. Yeah, info is good. And we can say name equals get component name drops. Cool. Source is component name. Okay, what's it's kind of weird to me how Copilot seems to just throw in random curly braces on a regular basis. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Alrighty. Wonder what kind of docs are you gonna spit out here, Copilot? Anything? Nothing? Sure. Yep. Good enough. Alrighty. Think that makes sense. I'm quickly just going to go back to our init. So here's where I've been like switching stuff kind of back and forth to either do things side by side or sequentially. And I think we are going to do this sequentially again. All right. So for each component, yeah, that's no, we can now initialize component commands. Isn't that something that already happens? This we can get rid of that. I think this makes sense though. Component commands, component deployment, initialize component. Yep, those are the things. And we do need these. Unused ESLint, disable directive, no problems were reported. Oh, I think because I already have a disabled for the file because we had it set up that way before. Okay. Well, now we've got run command. Let me just add that here. This is also a thing where I wish, I feel like Copilot should be able to figure out. Got it? Run commands. You know you can see the file system. Just run command. Sometimes it gets it right and it does a really good job, and then other times it's kind of like hilarious how badly it guesses things. Okay, so that is there. Okay, we've got a run command. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and finish the, oh no, never mind. Yeah, I'm going to, in the CLI directory, I'm going to do yarn local update. Let's double check that builds properly. I'm not going to, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna wait for that. Okay, that's building, which will, so we've got to build that, and then we've got to, well, we don't have to. I was going to rebuild the production CLI, but the initialization script is good to go. Yeah, so we'll just go back here, and what we'll do is instead of running Chewy init demo, we'll do Chewy dev. We'll run our changed stuff here. It's gonna all happen. Oh no, shoot! I'm gonna cancel that RF demo because we have this. If we're doing things sequentially, we don't need to do that. But you know what I will do? Just comment out. Okay, so I'm gonna change that later. This is the other one. Yep. Do that. That's in the library, so we've got to go back and rerun the build. Ruh-roh. Yarn cache is declared, but it's values. It's the what do y'all think is the best way to deal with? See, this sort of like my instinct is to just be like, yeah, let's just console log this. Do a little do that to try and keep track of. That's kind of my instinct, is just to log it for now. So I don't need to deal with commenting out a bunch of stuff or removing stuff that I might still want to use soon. Yeah, if anyone has any suggestions on how to better handle that, that'd be cool. Okay. So what? What's next? Rerun that build. It's a good layout. Could do that. Just waiting for the build, so I need to play with my my streaming tools. I feel like having the camera in the way is going to get annoying. Yeah, I think that's good. It's just annoying because like we've got this cute little like branding, little arms and stuff. I kind of like. It's too bad that you can't see any of it. I guess that is okay. Not that there's anyone watching right now, but who knows? Maybe someone will watch later. Maybe someone is going to be curious about this stuff. If nothing else, I guess it's kind of neat to have it for prosperity. So posterity, not prosperity. Posterity. Is that the right one? Words are hard. Okie doke. So back in demos and that. And in theory, it should work this time. Oh, we might need to do like one other thing here. RF demo, yarn cache in. Because usually what happens when it fails is something gets corrupted in the yarn cache. I know we use those like individual folders, but I don't know. These past couple days have kind of thrown my confidence in yarn. So I kind of just wouldn't be surprised if there's something else somewhere in like the file system that yarn uses that got corrupted, that gets corrupted when something fails. Hopefully not. But yeah, my confidence is shaken. So maybe I should switch back to NPM. It's funny because we do have a caching system that works kind of globally built into Chewy as well. And this stuff kind of has me thinking of like, what if someone were to install multiple Chewy projects at once in a workspace? It's not a use case that I anticipate, but it's probably worth thinking about at some point in the future. Definitely not now. Okay. So, yep. Okay. Once all of this stuff is done running, we then need to work through. Okay. This deploy command is going to run that deploy command, which in turn is going to run all the other deploy commands. Now what are those going to be? So deploying, all right. So somewhere in here. Ooh, is this? Yeah, okay, it's async. So what we kind of need to do is await run command. Oh, did we make that async? Also, we don't want to import it from there because we're going to have some version that we don't want. Particular dependency issues. And we're going to say, actually, can we do this? I think we should be able to just say component. And should be dev start. How does my code work? I guess first thing is, unnecessary await. Great. Expected 2 argument, 1 argument, but got 2. Oh, because we have this. Uh, or opt is this is where I think I can just use. Does that work? Does that make sense? Deploy to environment. Let's see. Deploy. Basically, we've got these component commands, source commands. So dev start. Yeah, if we're doing deploy component. Yeah, okay. So then we want to run deploy command, which does take an environment as okay. That looks right to me. Would be, yeah. There's a part of me that wants to sort of expose these things in other ways than the CLI, but the CLI is also practical. Yeah, okay. Should this be async function? Okay, if we make it async, here we want to wait, but we could run those deployments simultaneously because they are, as long as this is done, those should be able to run in parallel. Because they don't have any dependencies on each other. Oh, I guess they kind of will run in parallel because they're spawning new shells. Do they? Is that how this works? Okay. I don't know. If someone knows, that'd be great. I'll probably just look into it. But hey, it installed. It's a little slow. Eventually, this will all be a lot faster. FYI, this is just like MVP, and we're bundling a lot of stuff into each component repo that will be extracted and precompiled. So this sort of like compiles everything as each component is installed, which is slow and inefficient, but will be nice and speedy down the line. Okay. So each run command runs in an async function. I wonder, I'm just gonna, yeah, I'm gonna Google that. If I run to exec sync these from different async functions node, is that in parallel? I don't know how node manages like spawning these things. Exit, no, see, it's not. I assume it would, like they're just like separate, like each new shell that gets spawned is a separate process, as I understand it. And those, the fact that they run in async functions shouldn't really matter. They're both kind of just doing their thing at the same time. Yeah, yeah. I feel like that should be properly parallelized. Okay. Hopefully, maybe. Okay, moment of truth. We now have a project to work with. CD demo. Hey, there are our things. Some more things. I'm going to comment this out for now. So we should just get the dependency graph. I'm gonna do like a little thing. Level const. No, let level equal. Oh, they run side by side. Just gonna do a thing here. Number equal to 0. Oh, I guess if I do that, I could just okay. And so we can just to visualize how this is deploying component. Let's do purple. Is there purple? Red? Red. Green? I like green. I was hoping there'd be purple. Ooh, is there orange? Nope. Red. Yeah. Blue? Blue might be kind of neat. I like blue. Blue. And do that. I haven't done this before in a long time. Can I do that? Is that allowed? How do I what's the oh this is funny. That's I feel like that wait, node times 5, not a number. I guess that's fair. How do I duplicate a best way to do that? I could just do like a loop range. Is there it's can't see this, but I'm Googling it, which feels so funny. A repeat? There's a repeat method? String.repeat. Great. Okay, that's useful. String.repeat. Neat. All right. I like it. Hey. I probably could have also just asked Copilot level. Start it. Do that. Okay. Let's see how this works. Oh, that is in lib, so I need to rerun that build. If anyone sees this and has like questions or feedback, that'd be cool. I wouldn't mind that. It'd be appreciated. Let me know what you're trying to build. If you're trying to build a web app, mobile app, I'm curious to hear what it is. See if Chewy could help someday, maybe. Hopefully. No, it will. It will. It will. But yeah, it'd also be neat to hear what people are building and keep that in mind as we build out the Chewy stack. Command build faster. Build friend. I guess the build was fast, but now reinstalling it into the CLI is maybe the slightly slower bit. Okay, so the whole thing is that this is going to get called by this, which gets called by dev start. Okay, I think my brain is feeling a little foggy. Oh, wait, what? No. Good. Chewy dev. It was dev start. So normally that would be Chewy dev start, which is nice and easy to read, but this is a little. Oh shoot. Well, dependency graph for each. Ooh, dependency cycle found. I was wondering if this would happen. Oh yeah, you know what's probably happening? Infrastructure Docker development host is probably adding itself as a dependency, because I did not think that through. I wonder if like someone's gonna watch this and watch me write out that code and be like, hey, so this pretty key thing you're missing. Okay, so install component here. We need to, oh shoot, you know what? Yeah. We're just gotta double check that if valid name is not equal to Docker dev host, then yeah, that just double check the Copilot hasn't done anything weird. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, rebuild again, I guess. Oh, you know what? We don't really, I mean, yeah, we should. We don't have to though. We can just manually edit this and kind of show you what this stuff looks like. So in demo infrastructure, Docker development host, here in Chewy config, we've got the links, and it should just have no links. That's Friday. If I do that, hey, cool. Oh, my fun indenting stuff didn't work, which I guess doesn't matter anyway, because all of this stuff is at the beginning there. Well, you know, I guess that's fine. It's kind of wanted to make something a little pretty. It'd be kind of cool to build like a visualization tool for trees and text. Deploy. Why didn't that happen though? Did I build before saving? I'm gonna switch this to a log. I don't know. I just want to do something a little fun here. Yeah. Just do that because I want to. Because I'm an adult and I can choose what I want to do sometimes. Occasionally. Every once in a while. Also, sorry to anyone who's not an adult who ends up watching this. I mean, being able to make decisions. Well, no, about your code is I guess you don't need to be an adult to do that. I'm an independent human being. I have agency. There we go. Do any of us truly Why did my thing not work? Why why does Okay, let's try node. Thing that I looked up said repeat. Oh, that's very silly of me. I see. I see what I did there. Disappointed in me. That's okay. Again, with like, I feel like this is one of those things that someone is going to be watching and saying like, "Hey, you know, you didn't actually do the thing, right? You forgot a key aspect of the thing that you're doing." This is my first time like properly building a CLI or anything that runs in the command line. And I am really curious about like so one of the things that we use under the hood is is Pulumi, which I think is amazing. It's so good. And yeah, if you haven't used it, you should check it out because it's fantastic. But they do some pretty neat stuff in the CLI in terms of like visualizing trees of like dependency graphs, basically. I'd be curious to see how they do it. I haven't checked out the source. Okay, so in here, we dev start. Hey. Cool. Yep. So, I mean, the graph is not very deep. We've got, I guess, 3 levels deep. You know what? I'm gonna start this at 1, just cause. And I'm gonna do this. Is that gonna look cool? Why am I wasting my time on this? I've got so much stuff to do. This is fun. Because visualize like this sort of thing. Like this is neat. I like that. How do you do stuff like that? How do you tell the command line that there's a thing that you want to like you want to update a thing? Do you have to like, I wonder if you have to like delete the line and like redraw it or something like that. I feel like that would make sense. Would it delete the line, or can you specify a character that you want to redraw? Hey, that's kind of more cool, I guess, a little bit. Why do we have, oh, wait, yeah, so I did that. Do that and just make this. Okay, last little tweak. Then I'm done with my little visualization experiment. I also really like this color, this kind of teal. I'm sure I can do custom. Can I do custom colors in Colorette? I assume so. What can I? Color, text, number. I used to use, what was the other one? Chalk. But the imports, they don't support. What's the different kinds of imports? I forget, but basically it stopped working and they don't want to support these imports. So that made me sad. Ooh, magenta. Cyan. BG cyan. Okay. So I don't absolutely need that. If I absolutely need to do what I'm doing right now. Yeah, that looks slightly better. It's kind of neat. Why does the... Oh. Yeah, because I started that at 0 before. I'm gonna start it back. Okay, I am going to do that, but I'm also going to do this. Oh no, this is going to rebuild the... Is it gonna... Oh no, it's not. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to... Whoops. Uncomment that. Uncomment that. Source, component name. Remove that. And we'll make this... Hey, you know what? We're gonna do... I'm gonna do green bright green as well. I think there's a bold as well. Oops. Yeah. Can I chain these? Yep. Bold. Okay. So we're gonna rebuild. And this time, we're gonna have some slightly more fun visualization, very slightly. And also, we're gonna deploy this stuff. And it's probably all going to come crashing down. But that is A-okay. So I do not really know how. I'm streaming to Twitch, but I don't spend a whole lot of time on Twitch. So I'm going to check this out in another window. And I'm gonna check out how this looks. Can I see my... Presumably there's a place where I can see my stream. So there's that spam in the comments. I want to remove stream manager. Got it. Oh, there we go. I can see myself. Can I remove this message? I see pin this message and reply. But okay. Well, anyway, in the meantime, that's built. And start. Let's see. Deploying infrastructure component. Can I hide that output? I forget how I ran this stuff. Oh, here we're going to crash. We did not crash? That is surprising. We should have crashed. Oh, because it's all just hello world. Okay, sweet. Yeah, that's okay. I thought the database, I thought I had some code that I had left in there that should run. Service, Hasra, database, Chewy. Deployment. Dev index. Yeah, so that's kind of weird. Hello world, and then done. This just says done. That's for object. These logs are so awkward to read. So we have this first one. Why did this run twice? Running Docker development. Okay, so it didn't run twice. Okay, yeah, no, it didn't run twice. I guess we get the we have two different logs. Running command boop boop. And it does it. New version of Pulumi is available. Okay. Running. Bin dev, deployed dev. Running yarn, run commands dev, deployed dev in Hasra database Postgres Chewy commands. Hasra database Postgres Chewy commands. It's running deployed dev commands deploy. Oh, well, yeah. It's because I haven't fixed this. Okay, yeah. Okay. So, lovely. I guess we've been running that everywhere. So deploy. Oh, okay. So in Docker development host, we are actually running this stuff in deploy. And we've got dev start, just runs deploy dev. Cool. So that did run successfully, didn't it? Let's see. Commands deployment. This should now have, yep, so it's got a dev stack for Pulumi. And if we check this out, Pulumi stacks dev. Oh, are these stacks? Oh, this might be a problem. Demo service or oath keeper. I'm getting the feeling that each of these so when I do this, yeah. Pulling stack, network name, demo, network. So that's the one that ran for the Docker host. Demo service Hasra. Yeah. So it's got these dev stack backups, stacks. It's awkward. Okay, so the reason I find this awkward. Okay, so essentially, ideally, eventually, there's like a good way to like plug into the Pulumi like hosted backend, but it kind of doesn't make sense. Like we can't run it. Like we as the Chewy Stack, we can't run that backend for you uh, at the moment, anyway. Maybe we could like buy an enterprise Pulumi license at some point and use that somehow. Or we do I don't know, we could work with Pulumi and allow you to like use like you log in with Pulumi and use Chewy to manage your state through their backend, but then you would have to have like a paid account with them. Well, you can start with the free tier. They have a decent free tier, but it doesn't take super long to start paying. So we could do that. Thing that I don't know yet that I find a little awkward here is okay. If anyone knows about like Pulumi and how their backends work, I'd love some advice. But if you, from what I'm getting here, if you log into the, so we've got Pulumi, Pulumi login. You can see here, we log in to a file with the Pulumi CLI. And that file is just the project configuration directory, which is, if we go back to our demo, which is this. So it's name of the project is demo.chewy. That's where everything's configured. And so we log into this directory with Pulumi. With Pulumi, normally when you use their hosted backend, one of the things that's neat is you can export values from what they call a stack and import those into other projects or other stacks. And what would be practical would be to say that, well, what we kind of need to do on some level is to say that we I don't know, we do the like we need to be able to get the information from the Next.js Pulumi stack from development, Next.js development Pulumi stack, and or no, the reverse. We need to get, for example, the Hasra. You know what? Third time's the charm, right? So we need to get something like the Postgres development Pulumi stack, export the information you need from Postgres, and import that during the deployment process for Hasra, so that we can say, hey, this is how you connect to this database. But what I'm seeing here, which I hadn't understood before, seems to be that there's just like one stack at a time. Like this file-based backend doesn't have a concept of projects. So don't know how that works. Like how do you import something from a project if the file-based backend, like move things between projects if the file-based backend isn't aware of that. I guess like one of the things we could do is just like name the stacks. Oh, that'd be so awkward though. Devil. Like it's weird because I don't really like the way they've done this, because I mean maybe it's just because they want you to use the paid hosted backend, but like I feel like they're pretty solidly committed to having, things work open source as well. And I would encourage like people down the line to use their hosted backend, but it's awkward if we have to build things differently. So, okay, the thing that's awkward here, component deployment. Is this not being deployment? File TMP. I've got, okay. Might have a typo somewhere I need to fix. Maybe that's the problem. I don't think so though. Gonna search for that. Oh, I guess I'm not. Component deployment, backend component deployment. Almost feels like it doesn't matter what the it's awkward. Yeah, I'm gonna try something. We're gonna see what happens. Okay, well, first, Docker. Docker network ls. Oh, so it's not. So it didn't create that network? Yeah, I should have kept the output, cleared the output. Frustrating. Okay. I'm going to I don't know, run that command again. See what happens. Running yarn. Run command. That's that. I'm gonna remove that. Okay. So run deploy. Go into this one. We'll just mess around with it and see what happens. So infrastructure, so it's gonna run deploy dev. Oops, commands deploy and then environment dev. Pulumi project name. This is a thing that I find a little awkward. New local workspace, create or select stack. You can specify a name and a runtime and backend yourself. Project configure. I think they are using that properly. But will it work if we don't have like this in place, for example. Oh, and this one is properly renamed. Why isn't it properly renamed with the others? File workspace chewy global demos demo.chewy. Did I do something wrong? Did I look at the wrong? Okay, like if I go here, deployment, Pulumi. It's got this like temporary thing. Where do I rewrite that? Oh, maybe it's because this one doesn't actually. So if I go, so the commands, source commands, deploy index. This one doesn't have that command yet. And it's not running this. It's running deploy dev. Okay. I think that might be it. Cool. Maybe cool. Hopefully, probably. We'll see. Kind of cool. I wonder. So, I mean, I am slightly weirded out by the fact that it seems to have run. Oh, shoot, I cleared the output again. I don't like having, like, clearing things. What's the other thing that I thought was a little strange? I wanted to know about this. Where's this coming from? So if we go to our infrastructure component, Docker development host, and in here, commands do. What was I saying? Yeah, okay, so in the commands, source, deploy. Do we do any logging here? Oh yeah. Log info, up results, outputs. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to know what do we know what comes out of here? I'm just gonna hope that I can like JSON.stringify. That makes sense. Maybe. Let's try it again. So that should be the next thing we see here. Yep. Oh, but it's not the creating Docker network created. Two created, one deleted, 3 changes. Pretty sure we can also just. I wanted the output. That is what I want. I'm gonna stop that. Start over. Network name, value demo, secret false. Cool. So this, in theory, is the Docker network that it created. I don't see it though. Why do I not see it? Is there a is there like an A? Is there a help? Show me hidden networks? Filter format quiet, only display network IDs, provide filter values. Driver bridge, pretty print networks. See, what if I just gonna go just gonna head right in here. You know what? Do it straight from here. This might make 0 sense. Deployment. Yep, so this is where we've got Pulumi. Like that's still. Yeah, sure. Pulumi up stack dev. Oh. That would be stored in here. Environment secrets, dev secret. Boop. Pulumi config pass is equals that. And Pulumi up stack dev. Not config passphrase. Good. This is the one. Promise it's okay. Weird. Just took a while. Okay, so it's saying that it's going to delete the stack. Is that right? Then recreate the stack with the network. Demo service hoster dev. Okay, so maybe this is the thing, is because when you log in, just gonna Google that. The problem I was talking about earlier. So the thing I was talking was okay, sorry. I got lost in the Twitch UI. Okay, so I want to know Lumi, can I Pulumi login file system Pulumi share resource between projects. Organizing projects and stacks. Projects and stacks are intentionally flexible so that they can accommodate diverse needs across a spectrum of team, application, and infrastructure scenarios. This is very much like how Git repos work, and much like Git repos, there are varying approaches to organizing your code within them. Okay. Monolithic microstacks. That's what we want. Microstacks. Is equivalent to microservices only in project and stack form. In this model, a project is broken into separately managed smaller projects, often across different dimensions. Yeah. That is my instinct, is to do that. Using stack references with microstacks. If using the microstacks approach, If using the microstacks approach, you will need a way to share information between stacks. Stack references are the Pulumi concepts you will want to use. Stack references allow you to access the outputs of one stack from another stack. Interstack dependencies allow one stack to reference the outputs of another stack. To reference values from another stack, create an instance of the stack reference types. Okay, but like projects. Like my instinct is definitely that. Ugh. So they show in their documentation a lot of like, here's one aspect of your project, like your infrastructure, and that has a development and a production stack. And you might have the app itself and has a development, a staging, and production stack. And that's the way my brain thinks about it too, is that I want like environments per stack. But the way, like if the backend only supports one project, then it kind of needs to be like each component in a Chewy project needs to be within the same kind of like namespace, like the same project to share resources between each other. Like I'm gonna have to, because if not, if they're sharing the, yeah, because how could you can't, I assume like, given that file system backend, you need to log in separately. I don't think you can reference, like that would be equivalent to logging into a separate Pulumi backend. And I'm just about certain that you can't share resources between like the hosted backends. Like you wouldn't be able to use like an enterprise one and the Pulumi hosted one and share resources across those. So that's awkward and unfortunate, but okay. Well then, I guess that just means the backend should be this, but the stack name should be, I should build a function called like get stack name component, get stack name that takes an environment. Okay. So we'll do, oh, the other thing I want to check though is okay, yeah, I'm just gonna check something out here. I'm gonna say, oops. I'm gonna say no. Actually, cd commands. Just gonna update this to say, oops, at the environment, and then within the environment, we have the component. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think that makes sense. And the work directory for that, I feel like this is going to get weird. Project, the backend. Oh yeah, I also just kind of want to know project name. Chewy project name. Pulumi project name. See, I have this like long Pulumi project name, but essentially the project name is just the Chewy project name. if we can't share resources across projects with a file system backend. Okay, so yarn commands dev, and is this again deploy dev. Okay, seems to have run, if not worked. Network. Oh, we have a network. That's nice. Oh, shoot, what am I? No, stop. I wanted to run that again. Just kind of want to like run it a few times to make sure it doesn't disappear. I feel like what happened was, yeah, because all of these stacks were called dev and other things, I think we're deleting it. Okay. So I changed this name to Chewy project name. And let's see. I'm just gonna. Did it rename this thing? It did. Okay, that's interesting. So so it will automatically deal with like manipulating this file. That's practical. I was going to write some code to do that. And then it properly saves this stuff. Neat. Okay. Why is that called dev? In theory, that should be called something else at this point. Because this command stack name should be dev dash component name. Let's see. Maybe that was just something that I checked in by accident. Oh yeah, so we've got. Oh no, that's yeah. In here, stacks. There we go. Dev docker development host.json. Sweet. And then we check in the state, which, suboptimal, but acceptable for an MVP, for a demo. So Aaron Pulumi, dev docker development host demo. Yeah, so dev docker, so project is demo, stack is dev docker development host. And my assumption with that, this gets weird though. Cause like, Okay, because one of the things that we do is we load up the Pulumi config passphrase per environment. I guess that can just be set per stack. My way of thinking about it was to have it like, no, I guess it should be set per stack. You don't want to do like, yeah, you don't have the same like encryption key for production and dev. Okay. Yeah, in my mind, I thought those should be like split up per project in like a Pulumi context, but I guess this will work. All right. Well, that's exciting. We have a Docker network. Docker network LS still there? It is still there. It's real. Okay, and I think that's the only thing that the Docker development host really needs to provision. So that is nice, and then we can just start provisioning containers, just running containers. So that's very exciting, though there's some weird stuff going on. So elsewhere. Oh, hey, it's Samson. Hey, Samson. We're building the Chewy Stack today. How do I can I respond? Very new to this streaming business. Apparently, when I write something in the chat, it goes out to all of the platforms I'm streaming to. So Twitch people, not that there are any Twitch people, but yeah. Ask Gene. Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, I will ask Gene for some help. It's very exciting. We now have a running Docker network. Check this out, Samson. Network LS. This network was provisioned by the Chewy Stack. Very fun stuff. I was actually just about to stop, but it's cool to see you actually watching. So, hey, one watcher. And in the tool that I'm using to stream, I just see cat orange whistling. Nice. But yeah, it was about to wind down. And yeah, we've got a Docker network provisioned using the Chewy Stack. So that is very exciting. Now we just need to run a few containers and make sure they can all talk to each other. And whoop whoop. It's happening. All right. Cool. Bye everyone. Everyone meaning Samson at the moment. See ya.